Ladies and gents, welcome. We've got a... Oh, we're already a minute in. Well, whatever. I'm not going back. We have a Pilgrims game, which I described to the players as the map where you start on an island and then you need to expand to go somewhere else. I point that out because Yellow looks very, very confused right now. Anyways, it will be an interesting game. We have lots of backgrounds. There was some pre-chatter in this as there were players fighting over colors. But we're going to hold off on that for a couple minutes because I don't know where the players are going to end up yet. Like, Yellow is a good example. I'm not sure if you... Oh, wait! Guys! I'm so mean. Okay, so there is a known bug right now. Basically, they gave us a patch which fixed a bunch of other bugs, which we're very appreciative of. But it brought other bugs with it, right? It's this whole thing. And the bug is... you can only garrison one unit at a time out of a transport ship. So you have to painstakingly do it one by one. And then you realize, oh crap, I'm just on someone else's tiny little island. And then get back in. Over here, we got a woo-woo-woo situation. We've got Sully getting attacked. Woo-woo-woo-woo-woo-woo-woo. One villager down. So I feel a little bad about the transport thing, but people are on the move right now. And as painful as it is, they are going to have to do it. All right? Oh, my God. Don't TC there. Oh. Oh, man. That is the most cramped town center spot I think I've ever seen on Pilgrims. Okay. Well, listen, the kings explode. So if a king dies, there will be a big explosion in that area. So the king could be used as a weapon. Or you may regret killing a neighbor. Green Cauldron has been walled in. Oh my God. I need to give context. Okay, here's the deal. I can't believe I have to talk about this now. I'm so sorry to pause, but trust me on this, guys. Before the game, we'll show a screenshot, okay? We had two players sitting on the color green. It was Green Cauldron, which makes sense, okay? And then... it was Skirmslayer. And Skirmslayer said, hey, Cauldron, pick a different color. And Green said no. And then I got a message from the host, and he was like, hey, these guys are fighting over the color right now. What do you want me to do? And I was like, force Skirmslayer to pick a different color. And jokingly said to chat, like, well, he could just, work it out in the game if he's really that upset about it. Oh, my God. But Skirmslayer... you don't want to make this guy angry. He is a king, bro. Poor Green, man. Poor Green. He says, oof, I have no experience on Pilgrims. And Red says, Cauldron, I know you're the true Green. Yellow says, yeah, me either. Where is the land, guys? and Orange just says, you have bigger problems, Green. Because Green can't escape. Oh, God. I mean, it would be a real ballsy play, but if Green wanted to, he could just delete his king right here. All he has inside of this thing is sheep. Oh, my God. Okay, so we have drama, okay? We have drama. So let me see. Gray? There's a lot of confusion. Gray has located the mainland. Yellow has also located the mainland, but it's very cramped on these shores, so that gets interesting. And Orange is determined to just keep this guy trapped in here. So let me just introduce the players, okay? This is very, very scuffed, but let's just see. In the blue, we have Sully. Now, Sully knows Orange very well. Orange is known as Jewel. And has played in community games as Jewel before. So that's why Blue said hi to everyone except Skirmslayer, okay? In the purple, not too far away, we have Flint and Steel playing as the Goths. In the gray, oh my God, everyone's in the same spot! In the gray, we have Charles playing as the Dravidians. In the red, we have JDA Champ playing as the Poles. In the teal, if you could find him through the trees, we have Mighty Grip playing as the Vikings. In the orange, obviously, we have Skirmslayer. And, oh, it's just the king that's there. Okay. And then in the green, we have Green Cauldron who obviously is having a really rough time. And this is all because he refused to change his color. However, green does have a TC over here, which is nice. So I guess that wasn't actually all of his villagers. And I mean, we have people asking questions on how do we do diplomacy, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, it's a lot. But, you know, it's happening. And I guess maybe yellow had some problems. Yellow says, wait, guys, if you destroy your TC, can you rebuild it? Well, yeah, you could rebuild it later. Yellow currently built his TC over here. So town centering the starting island is actually not a bad strategy. Overall, because you could just get villagers producing right away. But there have been some really awkward starts in this game thus far. And still, green, you know, he has not decided that he wants his day to end here by killing Skirmslayer. He has decided to just hold to this island and is hoping it'll be a very long game and that things will be fine. So, this is just incredibly awkward and difficult, and yeah. Did they start with 9 vills in this game? I actually want to check how many they started with. They start with 10 eco. So I know pilgrims you typically start with more. I don't know if there was anything they did to adjust that fact. Economically, though, we have Sully as number 1 and we have Skirmslayer as number 2. Now, what I was planning on bringing up is there's another game, and I think it was titled Surely No One Would Be Dumb Enough to... ... Now, this is spoilers if you didn't see that old game, but Sully had forgotten it was exploding kings in that game. And when a king and a nomad start went underneath his TC, he killed it. Felt very good about himself for about 15 seconds, and then he died as well because of the explosion. So, yeah, I mean, there were just so many things I wanted to talk about, and then this happened. Anyways, Gray says, take this turkey as a token of friendship. So he wants to be friends. And Mighty Grit says, hey, if I don't talk a lot, it's just because this is very stressful. First Diplo game, Purple. So Purple and Teal are buddies. And Purple says, I just remember T90 going, talk to people. And then Green Cauldron is Diploing and trying to be friends with people, despite also trying to break out here right now. Jewel just lost, or I guess Skirmslayer just lost Villager to a Wolf. Worth pointing that out. So, green doesn't like orange. Everybody else seems to be friends, though. It does look like Skirmslayer also has an allied red for whatever reason, but that could just be because this is hard work. People are trying to band together. Flint and Steel says, Teal, gray, Green, Gray, I've been chatting with you 3. Want to get a more set-up alliance going. Green says publicly, Skirm, I officially hate you now. Oh, gosh. And Orange loves it. He says, nice. Charles, want to remain strong? Hey, I've been chatting with Blue, too. Would be nice. And Charles says, I just want to arrive. All right. Wow, we have a militia now from Red. We've got, like, outposts everywhere. Dude, if a king died here, 4 people would die. Actually, no, the 5, because the king would explode and then 4 other people would die to it. Look at the Diplo strategy here from Skirmslayer, though. I have suggested this for years. More people need to do it. Just very general. Hey, only to you. How are you, Diplo friend? Wait. Oh, that's not the way to do it. You just say, hey, only to you. Do you want to be friends? And just say it to everybody. And now what Purple does is he goes to the Diplo menu and clicks a bunch of stuff, and then it says it only to Orange, which is a lot of work. And he says, sure, sounds great. And Red just says, I love you, T90. Well, I can't be your friend in this game. You need more diplomacy than that, Red. But best of luck to you. It's been an interesting start. Oh my god, Charles, are you kidding me, bro? Orange offers to be friends? And Gray says, hey... He says, hey, sorry, I'm already friends with a lot of people. Would be unfair to ally too many. How? What? Gray, your bottom score. It's you and that guy who has half his villagers walled in. I appreciate you trying to play for fairness or whatever, but this guy's kind of strong over here. I don't think it's a good idea. Okay. God, there's been so much to unpack in this game. I apologize if I've missed some of it. But I've enjoyed it. And I kind of felt like maybe this could happen. Skirm Slayer says, where are you, Gully? So these guys know each other, all right? They know each other well. They're in different situations. They're on opposite sides of this mainland. I mean, there's still so much free space here. So much room to escape. And Sully's asking, you know, what's happening over there. And I could see them allying long term. I really could. So Charles doesn't want too many friends because he doesn't want it to... He feels like that'd be unfair. Green is out for revenge, and he officially hates Orange. Orange might get what's coming to him, but we'll see because he seems stronger than many of the players here. And then we have like Red, Teal, and Gray, who seem like they're going to be close friends in this area. And have shared lots of farming space. I mean, this is crazy. Look at this. It's just all in the same spot. So, I think eventually when you're in Castle Age, what you want to do is you want to expand. And you want to get away from everybody. You do not want your eco to be set up next to people. But they won't be able to see where their allies are fully until the markets go up. Eco counts, guys. Look at the bottom left of your screens. Yellow and green struggling the most, which would make sense based on what we've seen. I guess red is in that conversation. Maybe purple's in that conversation as well. Red says, this is my first T90 official community game. Well, I'm rooting for red here. Red seems pretty chill. And Sully is saying yes to a purple and gray alliance. It's interesting. I wonder how aggressive green's going to be. Like, green's probably going to lose these villagers, right? Orange could have made a tower, didn't do it yet. Could make siege. I mean, Orange has been very diligent to continually repair these walls. Charles is honestly one of my favorites. I've never heard someone say, no, sorry, can't be friends with you. I'd love to, but I have too many friends already. I don't think that's the smartest diplomacy play, but I guess it's honorable. Mighty Grit says, hey, Gray, I'm doing good. How about you? And Mighty Grit's got a good score. Notice the experienced players have fished a lot on this map, guys. You see all the fishing they've done on their starting islands? Always important on Pilgrims to do that. And Purple says, 5 turkeys as a gift. Is trying to be real nice to Blue because Blue's right next to them. They know Blue's more experienced. They don't want any harm to come their way. Yellow says... Oh no, Yellow's king has been walled in. And Yellow says, hey Blue. TF? Question mark? And he says, oh, come on. And Sully says, it is to build trust. Really? Really? Oh, Yellow, you should have had your king somewhere else. Yellow's not happy. He says, yeah, man, nice trust you got there. Break it, please. Sully says... Sully says, well, do you trust me right now? And Yellow says, I trust you to break those walls. It's going to be a message of love and trust. I'm dying. Sully says, I need you to do something for me. And Yellow's probably like, come on. If Sully says, I'm going to sling you stone and you castle drop. Orange. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, that's amazing. Okay. Oh, God, this is so much. He says, castle drop orange with all of your vills. You do that and your king goes free. Oh, poor Yellow. The other thing that's problematic is most of Yellow's villagers are on this freaking island. He doesn't actually have much. I'm crying. Meanwhile, guys, Orange is like planning, is hoping that Sully's gonna be friends, and says, "Just checking in. How are you doing?" And unbeknownst to him, Sully's trying to set up a castle drop on his face. And Sully says, "If he says anything, just say misclick and keep going." And there goes the resources. Sully even sending food and gold so Yellow can get to Castle Age because he wants this to happen fast. Oh my god. Purple, meanwhile, like, he says, "Am I getting played like a fiddle?" Almost assuredly, but I'm okay with that. Like, dude, this is just wild. Also, I don't know how Green's villagers died. I apologize there. I don't actually see any military buildings. I don't see a monastery either, so I'm not sure. But they're gone.
Yes.
Ay, 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 ay. Oh, I gotta wipe the tears out of my eyes. Whew. He shot them with the TC. Oh, really? Oh, this TC? Oh, yeah. Of course. Okay, that makes sense. Sorry. TC has 5 kills. Yeah, that's it. That's pretty obvious. Green peace. I acknowledge you being green.
Yes.
Deal? Dude, that's a no deal if I've ever seen it. This guy doesn't want to be friends with you. Red and teal are talking. Charles is right on us. I'm not saying I dislike him, but I'd pick you over him any day. Okay. Green doesn't know how this works. Yellow is now in Castle Age, which is all we care about. And does Yellow have a transport anywhere? Like, Yellow doesn't have many vills. The king is still trapped. This is probably not as fast as Sully was hoping for. I don't think this is going to do much, but there is no army yet for Skirmslayer. And Yellow says, okay, where do you want the drop? It's funny, everyone thinks they're being the chattiest ones. They don't realize they're all chatting so much. Look at this. Brit says, Red is talking to me about picking you, Gray. Which is kind of true, but not really what the conversation was. It's a lie. And then Charles says, normal, I just put a castle in his base.
Yes.
Sully has to make sure he keeps up appearances and talks to Skirmslayer. He says, Sully, are you fine over there? He says, I'm just low APM. Leave me be, man. Okay, so here comes the 4-villager castle. Yellow doesn't have any more over here. And this is so Yellow can get his king free. And he says, is here fine. To be fair to him, there's a lot of water. So there's just not a lot that could really happen here. And then Sully signals and says, there. Poor Yellow. I feel so bad for Yellow. Yellow's had such a rough start. I feel bad for Green, too. He feels like he screwed up the chat settings. I think he's done an all right job, to be honest. Look at this from Red. Again, you can only ungarrison 1 unit at... What? Huh. Maybe the bug is not consistent? I don't know. Anyways, the king's still in the transport, but Red is escaping this area because he saw the castle from Gray. So he does not trust Gray to trust him. And it does kind of look like he's going to be on the outside. There's the castle from Yellow. Maybe the bug's not consistent. It works sometimes, T90? Okay, makes sense, makes sense. But good thinking ahead from Red, because there's tons of space over here. You could survive a long time. And Yellow's doing this to get his king free. Let's see if Sully is true to his word. Sully with 120 eco, way better than everyone here. Green wanna be peace, question mark, says Skirmslayer. Green, you might just need to say yes to this, honestly. You might need to say yes to this. I think he's given up on chatting to individual people. So he says, yes, please, Skirm. Yellow wants his king free. Castle goes up. Now, does he need to turn on Orange, too? Because that could be a death sentence of sorts. How much stone is even in the bank right now for Yellow? Yellow could make another. He says, thanks, man. We cool. And Sully says 100%. And now the king is out. Okay, so Sully, true to his word. I wouldn't say that really built trust. Green is just set. He has not set orange to ally. He has set orange to neutral. And he says, you first. Oh, God. Well, the game settled down. Like, this is what I was expecting, is a relatively chill game. But the start was just insane. Like, 16 different things that needed to be addressed. Now we've just got 16 turkeys here. Oh, it was 12. Sully's asking yellow's elo. Probably feeling like a bully right now. Gray says, you know, Red, for some gold, I can be friendly. And to green, Red says, I wish to destroy Skirm with you. Is that a threat or an offer I can't refuse? And that is, oh, to Gray. Okay. Interesting. What else is interesting is green now doesn't seem to be doing chat messages to individual people. He just does all chat and says who he's talking to. While Gray says it's an offer that can be refused, we actually have petards being masked here. So Gray is out for blood. We had have teal expand for more eco. Imp is on the way. Orange is on the way to imp as well. 120 eco there. We do have some water trade, which is always good on pilgrims from islands to mainlands. We could have that going both directions. Purple is expanding a lot. The king, however... Oh, no, the king is expanded as well. Nice. But yeah, it's really, really important for the players to expand like this. And Mighty Gret even bringing his king. I think I would want this to be nearer to an economy, but still very smart. So this is what I gather from the situation so far. Gray is a big fan of teal. I think they're going to be friends. I think purple's in on that as well, actually. So we have those three people, okay? Blue is kind of involved in those discussions, but blue isn't actually discussing a lot, and blue is very strong. So I don't know if they're going to trust blue, but then again, blue's too strong. They can't really do anything about him. It's a whole thing. I think that Skirm Slayer thinks that he's going to be friends with with orange. Or, sorry, with blue. But Sully really just wants to kill Skirm Slayer. So that's kind of fun. Skirm Slayer says, Sully, I put production next to you. I have no space. We peace. And Sully just says, I will eat you. Which is confusing. So again. He says, go south or yellow will wreck you. He's protective. So, yeah, he does not want orange to be near. But that is now a heads up for orange to know that maybe blue doesn't trust you. Sully's just so full of it. Go south or yellow will wreck you. He's protective of me. He told me he's sandbagging. Guy's like 1,800. And Orange is not... Orange doesn't believe it. I'm just like... He's got like 5 ills, bro. There's no way this guy is good. It's kind of interesting. Sully says at least twice that, pal. Okay. And Sully sends resources to yellow. So he actually... I think some part of him feels bad, but the other part is I need you to be an ally to me. We have built trust. You can feel bad for yellow all you want, and I get it, but the resources he's getting is just crazy. And I think yellow might now actually be like, oh, okay, this is a guy I can fight with. Yellow's no longer bottom score now. Holy housing situation over here for purple. Let's check stockpiles, guys. Who is the most gold? It's Flint and Steel, actually, who has the most gold right now. Gold counts are still pretty low. I think no one's going to want an engagement right now, but we should take a look at army counts, and it's Gray, who's got petards. Remember, Teal's king is over here now in a castle. Teal does have a villager in this castle, so if anyone's tempted to try and snipe the king, they might check there. And why did people just say F? What was that for? F, RIP, 11. Nobody died. I'm sorry, guys, but I don't know what they're talking about. And thankfully, it's not a player. I was worried a player might have gone down. So yellow will be imp. I think the tactic from orange has not been very smart. Basically, he opens up the game. He walls in green. Okay. So he walls in green. He assumes he's going to be friends with blue, and blue has given him signs of maybe he doesn't want to be friends already. He doesn't reach out to anybody else. So he angers green and then says, hey, let's be friends. I don't think that's going to last long. And then he doesn't speak to any of the other players. So I just feel like it's not going to end well for Skirmslayer. Then again, if Skirmslayer takes some initiative and kills anyone in this section, it could obviously have devastating effects. Like Gray is directly next to so many different people with kings. And he's ready now. He could decimate people's economies. And he's going to be making a move with champions. Now, Sully says, Jewel, you're an egg. This is the most obvious snipe of all time. Get a hobby. Well, who's it obvious for, though? Because yellow's king is out in the open, bro. Sully, you know where your own king is. Do you know that yellow's king is right next to you? You could barely see it. And Sully turns on Skirmslayer. So they're going to fight it out. We don't actually have any army now from Sully, so I think he's actually scared of this, and he's hoping the trash talk will help him. He says, I was out of game for a minute and a half. He's retreating now. The trash talk has worked. Oh, never mind. Green says, that's all right. Green's like, I didn't miss you, you idiot. Yellow says, hey, want to trade publicly. But everyone will think that's a message right to them, so it's smart. Green says, it's all right. You took me out for a solid 3 minutes. Sully, don't shit your pants. This is like a reality show between these two. Oh, gosh. Well, the rigging gods did well with this game. So if Sully is going to eat the champions from Skirmslayer, he's going to need hand cannons or like maybe elephant archers. He honestly doesn't have... Okay, no, he is making hand cannons here. I was going to say he doesn't have a lot. I think Celts would be preferred for me. I think I would want siege onager and infantry, but there's no siege onager. It's just the infantry. So then 9 range hand cannons feel a whole lot stronger. They're not 9 range yet, but still. Shout out to Green, who's been able to survive here. Yellow's now allied with Red, which is something that I thought was going to happen earlier. Yellow's now also running. Like, into a very dangerous area. I think he wants to the shoreline because there might be a transport waiting for him. Yeah, and there he goes. And I'm just shocked no one's dead yet, guys. I think Yellow wants his islands with his king because he feels like that's safer. And that's not too bad of a theory. If no one notices, you did just kind of run through everyone's base, but still. So it's going to be number 1 and number 2. Players who know each other very well and have been trash-talking each other since the start of the game. They're going to be up against each other here. Red, are we part of a team-up? I honestly forget, says Green. But again, notice Green saying this to everyone. If anyone gives any secret information to Green, Green will spill it. And Red has just now turned on Gray. And I'm not sure why he did that. He's going to kill the trades. There's nothing going on over here. I just don't think he trusts Gray, because Gray's kind of being a jerk. Purple says, I can't tell if Green is making mistakes or a mastermind. That's funny. Anyways, the Petards hit that TC. There was no king there. Red's king is safe. Red's king is on water. And Red is kind of started some battle plans here. Oh, wow. Yellow's being attacked here as well? Oh, this is just Red on Gray on this island. Big fight over here, though, between the top dogs. We've got Sully with the hand cannons. Not necessarily with the micro, And a lot of units going down initially. And Sully has space problems. So Sully doesn't have a lot of space over here. I could absolutely see Skirm Slayer making this work. Especially if there were rams here. Now, here's the thing you guys need to know. And I'm sure people who don't know Sully and don't know Jewel will probably assume this. Whoever wins this little 1v1 spat, we'll never hear the end of it from them. For at least the next year, we are going to hear about how this went down. Right? And the word egg is going to be thrown around pretty religiously as well. So, Sully says, help, Orange is attacking me. And let's see if there's actual help. But, I mean, he seems scared. And he says, bro, you attacked me. Which, I think it's fair to say both players showed intent. Blue started it. Anyways, this is like, just, it honestly gives me anxiety to look at it. Because the micro is so bad from Sully. But I should remind you that Gray and Red are in the midst of battle. Gray, I don't know where he's going with his eco exactly, but he doesn't want to stick around here for some reason. I mean, why? Why? Is it because of all the battling that's happening here? That would make sense. So, here comes Orange with some trebs. Sully has now used villagers to take out a Celt trebuchet. So that's another thing onto the brag, the list of things to brag about. Yellow will probably help blue and has Cavalier. This gate has to be completed, but then yellow can come help. Army count really bad for Sully at the moment. And red is unhappy with Skirm. Oh, God. Or red is, and now yellow is over here, and red is attacking. Not making matters any better for yellow this game. And yellow says, hey, red, just to you. Imagine having to try and talk to that guy while all this is happening. But yeah, the Cavalier, as long as yellow turns, he has to go to the menu and turn. Combined with the hand cannons is really good here. Yeah, Sully's going to end up being okay. His king is actually exposed. It could die if it runs forward or something here. But the army for Skirm Slayer is going to be dealt with. Yellow really just wants to expand and get a TC up. And red is like, yeah, my bad. I didn't mean to do that. King for Sully's not going into harm's way. Orange will be 2v1 for the time being. Has no real allies working for him. It doesn't seem like it anyways. Unless Gray is? Is this Gray? Oh, no. Gray now turns against Skirm Slayer. Wait, so you're telling me the player who didn't talk to anyone but Sully, and then the player that where he had walled in his villas at the start is being ganged up on here? I'll tell you what, guys. I'm shocked. After my years of watching community games, I'm just astounded at the fact that Orange now has tons of enemies. If you didn't pick up on that, that was sarcasm. Hey, another one attacking Skirm Slayer? What? Why would this ever happen? What? What? No! No! The game's over. Why? What happened? Hold on. What? Hello? Okay, so for full context, we just spent a long time restarting my game and joining again, and we weren't think the game was going to work anymore. We think it's working. We had the players pause. They were like 15 minutes ahead of us, had them pause, and we continue on here. So for people watching a video form, I hope you've enjoyed this, and hopefully we could actually finish this game because this has been fantastic. Now, I was just saying how everyone's turning on Skirm Slayer. I'm not at all surprised that everyone's turning on Skirm Slayer. And Skirm Slayer is being gutted economically and seems to just think, well, I'm not happy about this. Sully, we could have been a team. And also, it's not just Sully, but everyone else who's kind of involved in this. And just, as you would expect, doesn't seem to care at all about winning the game. Just wants to make everyone else's life difficult. So King is now dead for Orange. And Sully's got to make it out of here. He's making a run for it. He doesn't have a lot of time. Other people could die with this King explosion. I think Sully will be safe. His eco won't be. And did anyone else die? No, I don't think so. Gray, where even is your King, dude? Gray's King was running away? Oh my goodness. And Red says, Skirm the false green player. It's all coming back to their little spat. on the color at the start of the game, but we continue on. Man, what an escape from Sully, though. That was rough. Green has had such a rough game, and he says, "Ding dong, the wicked skirm is dead." Oh. Well, hey, Jewel, aka Skirm here, I really appreciated you in this game because we had a lot to talk about early, and it's always good to have a nice little villain. So, thank you. Red is pumped. He says, "Let's go. The victory is ours, everyone. Next, we kill Charles." He's just talking to Green. So, I don't know who everyone is. Oh, man, what a moment. And also, what a great job from Flint and Steel. Flint and Steel had tons of champs here. Sorry, it's tough for me. I'm trying to regain composure here because of the drop and all that went down. So blue, economically, is probably no longer looking all that good. I guess the gold count is good because of trade on water, but certainly going to need to rebuild an economy and rebuild military buildings. In this corner, we've got some trade from the Mighty Grit, who's looking quite strong himself. Look at all the castles and walls. It's going to be hard to break that down. Gray, however, has sent his king behind those walls. So that could be a way to break down those walls later. Where is Teal's king? Oh, it's in this castle here. Okay. Fun fact, Jewel played a tournament set against me where he also was complaining that he wanted green. Interesting. Okay. Well, some people really like their colors. I think you like green as well, Varian, right? So it was probably a thing there. So, the dust settles. There's a lot of open space over here. Yellow is kind of on his own now. Like, if Yellow wanted room to breathe, he has it now. So, there you go. I think we've had a lot of comeback stories in this game, right? Red kind of had a rough time. Yellow, green. And so everyone kind of, it feels like new life here in this game. So the player who we expected to go down did go down. It was such a close, it was such a good attempt and a good move to possibly get, Sully. Sully with these cannon galleons is going to try and get Green's king. Green is elated right now. He's so happy to be alive. And I hope you enjoyed that moment. Sully deletes the evidence. He deletes the evidence. Green is dead. Probably didn't expect it at all. And there will be an explosion here. And everyone's confused. Everyone's like, what? How did that happen? That was a sick move, by the way, to delete that. It was also attack grounds, I believe. He didn't turn on him. And Green, after death, says, "Oh, I forgot there were kings in this game." Red's base gets hit. Red's like, "No, I thought I had a teammate." And, well, the game changes yet again. Okay. There's a castle here for Sully. If they would have realized, if anyone would have noticed it was him, I think that a bunch of players would have gone for him right here. So he's kind of bracing himself. But, whew. Thank God we were able to get back into this game. This has been awesome. By the way, if you're wondering where Red's king is, he is on the high seas here. And not protected by any navy either. Just hoping no one notices. Ay. Okay. Let's check resources collected. I'm all over the place mentally right now. It's been a moment. Res collected extremely high for Mighty Grit. Extremely high for Sully. And extremely high for Flint and Steel. I want to talk trade positions. We've got blue and purple. So Flint and Steel and Sully trading on water, which is highly vulnerable if someone just wants to add navy. And then we've got the trade from Mighty Grit headed this way, which is less vulnerable. However, you're not getting as much gold per trip. Also, by the way, Skirm Slayer and Green Cauldron, if you're still in the game after the you're defeated, if you could just close it out in the event that it adds some lag, that'd be helpful. Honestly, we are so far behind where these players actually are in this game that it's just, they're probably not going to get that message till 1:15 in the game, but yeah. So who's the bully right now? Who's the bad guy? Who are they going to focus on? I think if I were Sully, I'd be wanting to talk to people. Like, talk to Purple, who's got this big army. Just chat it up a little bit. Clinton Steele says, hey, Gray, just checking. How are you doing? And Yellow, trying to talk to Mighty Gray a little bit. Gray says, I'm doing good. And Teal's talking about wrong settings. Hold on. What's this trade? So that is 76 gold a trip. Across the map. Oh my god. He's adding trade from these markets, guys. But he forgot that he has a market here. And your trade will always take the furthest journey for the most gold. So this is not something he's expecting. He's really hoping that the trade is going to run through this gate. But it's not. That's really funny. So at some point here, we are going to see a conversation from the players. It might be a lot of chat at the same second. That is when I would have contacted them and asked them to pause. And they had to pause for like 15 minutes as I caught up to this game to see if this would work again. Oh, literally right here. I think. Yeah, anyways, that was it. So good timing, I guess. So I don't know if I missed much there, but kind of hard. They could have gone for some crazy Diplo during that period. And it looks like, yeah, just caught that maybe they were going to go for blue. So they used that pause to determine they wanted to go for blue. And Sully noticed this move from Red. Red's bottom score. He's going after top score like a champ. And, I mean, you're still in Castle Age, Red. So, I mean, props to you for that. But Sully has some gates here. And Sully noticed this. And now you've just made a big old enemy. And whoever you're teamed with, they better be ready to help you or, you know, you're going to be gone. Also, anyone who's allied with you could always see this at any point in time. So I don't know if those gates were down ahead of time or if Sully noticed that and went for the gates. Kind of looked like maybe he had quick-walled it. But anyways, hand cannons are going to go boom. And Sully says, Red tried to snipe me. Says this to Yellow, says this to Teal, says this to Gray, all of which are obviously still alive here. Gray says, Red, you alive? Question mark. And I guess Teal... So it feels like Teal and Purple are going to be friends? Red and Gray are going to be friends? And then Sully doesn't really have any friends? Except for maybe Yellow? And Yellow's bringing his king off of the island, by the way, because it's very exposed out there. There's no castle. Red making a move on his own there is pretty crazy. Does have one single ship in the trade route there, like a stealthy little trade and fish raid. Blue, I guess. You tried sniping him, question mark? He said in chat. Listen, Red, I don't want to be a backseater here, but the best thing you could do for yourself is maybe get Imperial Age. Just a thought. Get Imp, get a bigger economy. Would be really helpful. Gray is asking Blue if Yellow is chill, and Sully says, I love Yellow. I would reiterate that stance. I think I would probably voice that again, because Yellow's actually looking pretty strong, and you know that Yellow remembers what you did to him. Also, like, Paladins are looking pretty tasty over here for Yellow. Whoa, bro, is it like friend love or question mark? Oh, I see. So he's wondering how much Sully loves him. I'm sure Sully will have a fun comment. Sully says, I'm still working through my feelings. So Sully hasn't quite figured it out yet. But that's normal, guys, all right? You don't need to know if it's forever right away, okay? Love is a journey, and you grow closer together over time, all right? We don't have stables yet for the Hindustani player. Because normally you wouldn't be that scared of this if you had stables for camels and... Pack rounds. There's no king in there. It's actually Trebs from Purple. But will Purple notice this? Purple just turned on Red in the same moment, so he's very distracted. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Sully, this is close to your base, bro. Purple noticed! Purple's on the move! And he can snitch now. He can snitch so people will know that blue's being a bully. Wow, what a crazy moment. We got Mighty Grit also turning on Sully, so he noticed. Purple has a big army, remember. He's got tons of champions, and he's got... Purple notices in the final moments. He's on the way. He probably will escape. There's no fast units to chase this down. And I think Sully, he could have some real problems here. But certainly the cannons aren't going to find the king. The king's not going to allow that to happen. Yellow talking to Red right now. And he's basically like, I can't really help you because then Blue won't trust me. And Red says, well, then we start with him. What a statement from the bottom score player. Red says, I know how to solve that. If he's not going to trust us, then we might as well give him a better reason not to trust us. Oh, no! What? Purple never got away! What? I just expected the king would get away. Oh, flint and steel. He's dead. And Sully deletes the evidence again. It seemed like Teal noticed something was up there. Yellow's also making a move, so there will be an explosion here. We have 5 players left. I really thought Purple was going to be able to get away. Anyways, Purple's gone now. And everyone seems to be leaning towards attacking Blue. Sully says I may have misclicked. And this Yellow, be a god and say, attack him now and say, me too. Please. Misclick onto his base. Because listen, Sully's killed a lot of people. It's pretty obvious, right? He was very strong for a while. He angered a couple people. Looks like he's going to start to lose his navy now. And Yellow, he did wall in your king earlier. Hey, Yellow, only to you. We should take out Blue. He is too strong. Yup. I'll give you the victory. Interesting. Look at all these towers here. It's very interesting. I don't know why we have so many towers from Purple. Red's on the way to Imp. Yellow says, okay, I'm prepared to already. Do you know where his king is? Well, he doesn't have much of a base. That's the problem for Sully. He's just got that. Against Sully, I don't know if he's got any tricks up his sleeve. Looks like he maybe wants to make some navy over here, but it's just far too quiet right now. Sully says, Teal is attacking me. Help. And now, Yellow, this is your moment to decide on what you do, because if you wait too long, then he's going to know you're going to go after him. That's why Yellow makes the move. I want to see if Sully can talk him off here. Yellow says, damn, I didn't have my chat right. And Blue senses it. He says, Yellow, after everything. Meanwhile, Mighty Grits is talking up everyone, saying, I'm with you till the end. He said it to Yellow. He's saying it's Gray now. And Gray says, I'm with you, friend. But also says it to Red. But it could be a threesome. That's cool. Red, go for Blue now. Says Yellow. Dude, Red is on the other side of the map, Yellow. You just gotta have the guts to do it yourself here, okay? Also, Yellow's king is right there. Blue says, Yellow, don't make me do it. Yellow turns. Yellow, your king is right there. Does it have all the ranged upgrades? It doesn't! He doesn't have Bracer! But I think he'll survive. But where's this blacksmith at? Ah, that king is so exposed. Honestly, if Teal noticed that, he should kill it. Because it... Oh, he's dead anyways. Oh, he's dead anyways. And Gray's making a wonder. Does Sully know he just killed Yellow's king? He does. He's running. Oh my god. Yellow's out of the game. He turned on Blue but forgot about his own king. Sully will survive this, but he won't have a whole lot left, and he obviously won't have friends. What a moment that was. Sully's still in it. Back to the Dark Ages for him, though. And we'll see if maybe Yellow could finish him off from, beyond the grave. It doesn't seem like it. Now, Gray adding a wonder here puts a massive target on his back. And Purple's, who's already dead, is just like, go Charles! Let's go. Oh, man. Well, I think the end is near for Sully here. He probably doesn't have the resources. What? Where are the... What? He has tons of resources. Says Gray, I'm going to kill Red in a minute. Thoughts on Teal? Oh, no. Oh, champ. What have you done? You're allied with people. You're allied with people. Or they could... He researched treason. What have you done? You heard the treason noise. You heard the treason noise. Red, your first game. Oh. We could see treason was researched. If you ever hear a little wong, a little ching, a little wang noise, you ever hear any of those noises? That is one of those, whichever one it got closest to is treason. And it would have happened because we could tell it was researched. Now Red is dead. And he says, no way you knew. Yeah, he knew because he researched treason, man. You could see it with the fog of war that he had researched treason. And at one point, he was probably allied with you as well. I don't really remember. Anyway, Sully still has resources to potentially compete here. He does say you'll never take me alive. So he's going to try and run around. But if he could somehow get villagers to make some army. Meanwhile, Gray... He's using Yurumi swordsmen, but the Yurumis are slower than the king. Sully says, it was I who killed Green. And that's going to be the end for Sully. And that is not going to do much damage to Mighty Grit, all things considered. Dang. Red doesn't believe, like, he feels like that was sketched, that king was there. He doesn't trust it. But, yeah, it was... I could go back, but you could see the little fog opening there. That's what happens when you research trees, and it shows a certain area on the screen. Anyways, GG to Sully. Explosion happens. We have 2 players left now, and Gray's making a wonder. So I guess we'll immediately check resources collected. Charles has 10k food and 7k gold. Grit has... 18k food and 13k gold. So in terms of resources, it is currently much better for Teal. I think Yurumi Swordsman could actually be very good against anything that the Vikings can make. I think Yurumi's beat Berserks, possibly. But yeah. Also, Mighty Grit just said, let's kill Red. Oh, he didn't realize Red was dead. This wasn't exactly a wonder attempt that where Charles thought he could win the game. Because it's just a 3-villager wonder, so that wonder may never complete. But let's see if he can make a push now. He needs siege. He's making the siege out of these castles. And I hope that he doesn't forget that he has 16 Yurumi swordsmen in his castle alongside his king, because they could be really helpful. Teal's king is not too far away, but again, he's got lots of castles, and he's starting to mass elite Berserk right now. I believe from what I've seen that Mighty Grit may be the more skilled player here, but I really, it's hard to say, because there weren't consistent engagements, and Charles had the worst start. Start obviously does translate into player skill to an extent as well, but we'll see. Thank goodness, though, guys. Thank goodness we actually got to finish this game, because the start of this game alone was just so good. Hey, Gray. Hey, Charles. Hey, your Trebs. Okay. No, please don't. Charles. 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 Please don't lose your Trebs to some Rams. Charles. Okay, well, all right. Distractions on both sides. The king is on the move for Teal. I think he's constructing this castle away from the he's constructing it away from the commotion. So he's trying to escape. That's understandable, because when it gets messy, it's easy to forget about things, like trebuchets next to rams, for example. Gray does not have elite Yurumi swordsman. The unit does a little bit of, like, splash damage to adjacent units, which is why I think it could be really good. But I think getting elite is necessary. The Castle Age version of the Yurumi is not that impressive. Just 55 HP and 8 base attack. I think the first attack also does more damage too, so, like, You really, really need to get elite there. The champions are coming, though. Viking champions are superior to the Dravidian champions. And while Teal is kind of struggling to totally deal with this, it does feel like Gray's losing a lot of units here. And it might just be a matter of time. You've got Trebs taking down these barracks slowly but surely. And eventually the production's going to be here in this area to be able to push this area. A great game. A game rooted in drama. And whatever else you want to call it. Yeah, I suppose that's true. If you have the Woot Steel upgrade, maybe then you're beating Viking champions. I think if you have Woot Steel and you're up against Berserks, because Berserks have so much more attack and HP that the Berserks would shred. I don't know. I'm actually I'm a little disappointed we're not going to get to see like the fully upgraded militaries on both sides facing up against each other with infantry. I don't know, Charles. Like, Charles' king is here, guys. So I don't know where these fields are going right now. Maybe it's for more production buildings, but he was just... Maybe he needed more time to build up, to really prepare. And then everyone died so quickly, he wasn't quite ready yet. He's probably hoping the game would go on for a while, so no one would realize he was building the Wonder, honestly. But that obviously put a pretty big target on his back. At this stage, just finishing the Wonder probably doesn't do much for you, because you need to complete it, which will take forever. And then not only do you need to complete it, but you need to then have it up for 350 years, and the game's just not going to go on for that long. Rams and Berserks and Champions making progress. Gray, no real potential to kill the king because Teal's in the position here. It's just in the town center, so you could maybe research treason right now if you're Gray. Get an idea. Especially if you've got the gold, I think it's worth it now. No, he doesn't have the gold. Spend 400 gold, get that ping, find out where your opponent is. He just doesn't have that gold right now. And this is probably the end. Holy crap, man. In the end, it's kind of funny. Like, we knew that Skirmslayer and Sully probably were not going to be buds. Even though they are buds, you know? Like, you know, they know each other quite well. In the end, the problem for both of them was the same old thing. It was that no one else trusted them. And that they were too bloodthirsty to really have a proper ongoing alliance. Like, maybe Sully's trust exercise with the king with Yellow backfired a little bit. We did check. Sully did send 10k resources to Yellow, which is a lot. So, I mean, considering he sent 10k res, maybe Yellow could have maybe felt like it was, you know, water under the bridge at that point, but I don't know. Gray's king is in this castle. The trade is running from this shoreline down to here. Oh, he's trading with Yellow here. Interesting. Okay. And we just got to wait for a few more rams here from Mighty Grit, and it's going to be the end for Gray. He's not going to have enough to defend this. Don't think T90 ever mentioned the Regicide Rumble win from Sully. I honestly don't... Oh, God, there's a king! I honestly remember more from Sully's community games than I do the Regicide Rumble game. Right? Like, the whole forgetting it was exploding kings and killing a king underneath your TC. That was something that really, you know, was in my mind more than some of the other things. But obviously, he's been around community games before. It's not his first rodeo. And it is probably part of it as well. I think he's also maybe the higher ranked player in the lobby. Anyways, Gray calls the GG. King died under mysterious circumstances. And what a good game. Unironically, thank you, DE, for somehow being able to reset here. I really thought that if I restarted the game and respectated it, it wouldn't work. It did. We got to finish it, what was a pretty tumultuous game where, like, players didn't know where to start. Players have argued over colors in the lobby. You had trust exercises. You had friendships that were going to last a long time, and then things went wrong, and pretty epic snipes too, right? Like, cannon galleon snipes, fire ship snipes and transports, and then straight up just grinding people down, which is what ended up happening to Sully. He had too many conflicts and he had too many explosions near his base. 181,000 resources collected for Sully in that game. He did have more trade profit than anyone. He also sent more res to other people than anyone. Kill-wise, it was Mighty Grit, actually, who had the most. I think he had a lot on water that we missed, because I'm pretty sure he still has a navy. He had a navy at one point, and it was sizable, right? I think he had cannon galleons, and he had like regular galleons. And then he took quite a few conflicts on land as well, and they were always good conflicts, right? It was never really a bad fight for him. It felt like he was able to get the timings down. I think if you look at Mighty Grit and you look at Sully, there is one key thing that Mighty Grit did that Sully did not do, and that is relocate out of the corner of hell, okay? You go to 36 minutes in this game, you'll notice where the blue still is and where the teal is starting to go, right? Mighty Grit starting to expand. You are going to run into problems. When you are amongst all these different people, you really need to just YOLO villagers away to the outskirts. And it's a bit risky because you don't really know in some ways that people are out there. But at the same time, you are allied with a lot of people. So you know where they are, which should tell you where they are not. So maybe the game's different. Like maybe Sully's able to have more space and more army and stay alive if he's able to expand. But as always, hope people enjoyed this later on YouTube. If you did enjoy it, please leave a comment, like, whatever. Let me know what your favorite part was. I am very overwhelmed with all the notifications that are currently on the screen. And so Hardy's just going to edit an end screen now. But yeah, I hope it was good. Hope my commentary did it justice. Good stuff, everyone.